Trumansburg Rotary. Thank you so much for funding our project. I can't wait to tell you about it. There's kind of two parts to it. So this is the first part. This is Children's Book Week. I'm sorry if the traffic is making some noise. So Children's Book Week happens twice a year in May and November. So it was perfect timing when I filled out your application for the grant in May. So it was originated by the Boy Scouts in 1913 with the mission of encouraging literacy and promoting higher standards in children's books. It formed a coalition of publishers, librarians, and booksellers, and it's the longest lasting literacy initiative in the country. In 1944, National Book Week became a program of Every Child is a Reader, which is under the Children's Book Council. So the Children's Book Council, their 2020 theme was Read, Dream, Share. And the initiative is specifically targeting award-winning children's book illustrators. So we decided to start a collection of Illustrious to Illustrators. We used the suggested books, and there's a list online that I can share with you. And each of the illustrators for each book has a coloring page, which we've been distributing to the children that go to the library. So we made a special effort to choose a diverse array of subjects, genres, and material types. We have 4 nonfiction, 6 picture books, 1 bilingual, 2 easy readers, and 2 graphic novels, including 1 local illustrator, which I think is really cool. So I'll bring you over here so you can kind of see. Here's a few selections right here. I actually can't show you every single book because some of them have already been taken out because they're so awesome. And here's a few over here. This is the local illustrator, so I think that's pretty cool. I'm hoping maybe he'll sign it for us. So thank you for this addition to our collection. It's really a big deal. Thank you so much. The next thing I was going to talk to you about is our StoryWalk. So StoryWalk is it's an established form of sharing stories, and there's actually a trademark on StoryWalks. It's an innovative and delightful way for children and adults to enjoy reading and the outdoors at the same time. Laminated pages from a children's book are attached to wooden stakes or other things. Some people have them on podiums, some people attach them to trees, and they're installed along an outdoor path. So as you stroll down the trail, you're directed to the next page in the story. StoryWalks have been installed in 50 states and 12 countries, including Germany, Canada, England, Bermuda, Russia, Malaysia, Pakistan, and South Korea. StoryWalk was created by Anne Ferguson of Montpelier, Vermont, and has been developed with the help of Rachel Senechal from the Kellogg Hubbard Library. So we chose for our first StoryWalk Mouse Paint by Ellen Stoll Walsh. And then our next StoryWalk, which is going to be installed at the end of July, is going to be If the Dinosaurs Came Back by Bernard Most. So we chose these 2 stories for a few reasons. One was Proven Appeal. These stories have both been featured at our Type Tales Storytime program and are really well liked. Also, these stories are older. They're like 1989 and 1984 respectively. So they're highly recognizable by both kids and their parents, which I think is really important. Also, these stories are available in oversized versions, so we can make really nice big panels. They have visual appeal, they have bright illustrations, so they're eye-catching even from a distance. Even from the street, people have stopped. A StoryWalk was especially timely as part of this year's summer reading program because of the accommodations we had to make to protect health and safety of our patrons due to the COVID-19 outbreak. The StoryWalk is self-led and easy to establish social distance. It can be engaged in by multi-age family groups. It's outside, it doesn't require touch. It's something that can be engaged in during library hours or outside of them, which is very useful given our reduction in hours. It was even useful when we had our closure. It draws attention to our library as being alive even when we're under reduced operations. We love the multiple modalities offered by the StoryWalk. It encourages reading, discussion, quality time, movement, sequencing, sustained attention, outside time, all of this in one flexible package. So I'm gonna walk you through a little bit of our StoryWalk. I don't think I'll go through the entire thing, but I kind of wanted to give you a taste of what it is, especially if you've never been on one before. So I think I'll just show you quickly. This is the dinosaurs came back. This is how the StoryWalks begin before we do the lamination and before we post them on their stakes. So he's all ready to go, and by the end of July, I plan to put him up. So up here is where the StoryWalk starts. Now, since our library, we have a lot of property, but we don't really have an established walking trail. I made sure that all of the panels were visible from the next one. So once you see 1, 2 is in sight. So other StoryWalks, if it's an established trail, it's like you can come upon the next panel whenever because you're walking on that trail. So this is a little more circuitous and flexible, kind of cool. I might do a whole different pattern for the next one, who knows. So here it starts mouse paint. And you'll see these are the following panels. We made an effort to have the children kind of meander through the property and have plenty of space between panels in case multiple families were using it at the same time. That must be popular. People are beeping at me. So here we go around here, 7, 8, 9. You see the community tree. We wanted to make sure we incorporated that. And then if you follow me down on the property, we actually bring the StoryWalk into our community garden to help promote that a little bit. We'll just keep our eyes open because there's a huge groundhog here. It's like as big as a dog. So here's our panels 11, 12, 13, and 14 here in the community garden. And then it becomes a little tricky. I wanted the path to make its way all the way around the building. So then we're going back up into the parking lot a little bit, but towards the side so it's safe. So the kids would go around this way, up this way. So you'll see 17, 18. We make our way over here to the garden, to the entrance again. I've been really pleasantly surprised on how well these have upkept. We really have done very little maintenance on them. We had a few that really needed to be pounded in really well so that it stood up erectly, but other than that, maybe a little fading, but like the rain hasn't affected it. They look beautiful. They've been up for a good 4 to 6 weeks at this point. Here we're following our landscaping right up here. And then eventually you make your way back up and I'll show you our dedication page, which is last. And we used your verbiage to describe your projects, your organization, which we will also do when we do our next story. And here it is. Thank you, Rotary.